Welcome to Integrity Inspire, your daily dose of inspiration and motivation, featuring the bright and talented members of the Integrity Marketing Group family. Now, here's your host, Integrity co-founder and CEO, Brian W. Adams.
Thank you so much for joining today's Inspire podcast. I'm so excited to welcome our guest. I am incredibly excited to be joined by one of our newest partners here at Integrity Marketing Group with our great friend Marc Meade from Tri-State Financial, which is part of the Family First Life organization. Marc started his business, Tri-State, in 2014, which is amazing how big of a business he has grown in such an incredibly short period. And he's overseen this remarkable growth over that time, all the while gaining a stellar reputation with agents and clients alike. This year alone, Tri-State expects to produce more than $35 million of annualized life insurance premium through mortgage protection, final expense, and annuity products. I've been incredibly impressed by Marc since the very first day I met him when we met for breakfast in New York City and just sat down. And honestly, we didn't even pull out a piece of paper. We just talked philosophy and just background and life. And I personally just fell in love with Marc and was like, we've got to become partners as fast as possible because he has the utmost integrity. And I think that you'll find that there's not a more passionate believer in the transformative power of the insurance business as Marc is. He really cares about helping people, and he applies that deep commitment to everything he does, not just in business, but in life itself. And he really has this incredible energy. He understands the value of hard work, such a wonderful example for everyone around him. And he is a great family guy with his wife, Robin. We both have a wife named Robin, and a lot of commonalities here. So, in short, Marc is exactly the kind of guy you want in your family, on your team, helping to grow and someone you can count on through thick and thin, no matter what happens. And an outstanding, as his career has been so far. His future, I think, is just beginning, and he's just getting started. He's just going to be one of the premier leaders in the insurance business, and I can't wait to see where his career goes. And I'm so proud to call Marc Meade my friend and also my partner. So, welcome to the podcast, Marc. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for that confidence you also had on even blessing us with a quick song, brother.
Well, thank you, Brian. I appreciate it.
Man, man, we're so excited. I remember that first time that we sat down together at the hotel. We had breakfast, and I don't know if you recall, man. We never even pulled out anything. We just sat there.
Yeah.
We just talked. We just shared stories. Talked about life, and we're like, man, how do we speed this up and become partners even faster? That was exactly what happened, right? It's like, what are we waiting on? Like, let's just get going. Remember that?
Absolutely. I remember leaving that meeting and calling Sean, and I was on fire. You know, I was just really excited about meeting you and Steve and Eric, and it was a really good meeting. It really helped me understand the values of the organization and definitely wanted me to speed things up.
Yeah, well, for all of us, we were just so excited and just honored. So, man, you built an incredible career in a relatively short period of time. What's all the more remarkable is how you got your start in the insurance business. You got it started a little later than some people do. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into the business, into the insurance business.
As far as my start in the insurance business, you know, I was in the mortgage business for about 8 years, from 2005 to about 2012, and you know, I really worked through that business. I mean, I was successful early. And then the market crashed, and I worked through that business in a down market where a gentleman by the name of Dodd-Frank had came in and regulated a bunch of laws to the point where, I mean, it was definitely way too open, if you will, and then it was really closed, meaning you couldn't, there was one time where you can get anyone approved for anything, and then there was another period of time where you couldn't get people approved for anything. So, you know, I was in my 20s, I was very hungry and wanted to do something, but I couldn't survive. There was not a lot of oxygen in that business, and I kept hitting a glass ceiling. And a buddy of mine got into the insurance business, and he just kept, you know, asking me to get in. But at that time, me and him had been through so many different opportunities, if you will, trying to make something happen, that I was kind of like, you know, I'm going to just kind of stay in the mortgage business and see if I can get this thing to go. But I couldn't get it to go. So, you know, and we just kept talking and meeting, and he finally convinced me to come to this meeting, you know. And when this was December 2011, the presenter at the meeting was Sean Mike. I didn't know Sean from anything. And it was a different organization. He was already making 7 figures, and I was like, okay. Now, I had already went to that meeting prepared to get started, because I knew what I was doing was the definition of insanity. I was doing the same thing over and over again and expected a different result. Yeah, everything I heard about the life insurance industry prior to that was hire all your friends and family. Sell all your friends and family and physicals. So I was like, yeah, that wasn't really for me. But then I saw this and I was like, wow. So I was very intrigued by that. And I just started to go to work. I mean, honestly, I had a slower start because I didn't get the concept. I'm used to 3-week, 4-week sales cycles in the mortgage business. And the concept of going there to get a check the same day was just foreign to me. And I didn't necessarily have the confidence, but, you know, through talking to a bunch of people and growing through the years, I mean, I really just realized that at the end of the day, this business was strictly about activity. And I figured that I can control that. That's one thing I can definitely control. So if I can control my activity and I can control how I feel about rejection, right? So that's my attitude. I know I could win. And all I did was raise my activity level to a very high level. So high that I couldn't lose. I basically stacked the deck. I moved all my chips into the middle of the table, stacked the deck so high I couldn't lose. And all that meant to me was buying a lot of leads and running a lot of appointments. You know, when I got to Family First Life, I was already $150,000 in debt from terrible business decisions that I'd made prior. So I had a mountain to climb, if you will. And I'll be honest with you, my wife, Robin, she wasn't quite the believer yet. I had been through a lot of different businesses, business concepts, ideas, and it just seemed like I was jumping on to the next quote unquote get rich quick scheme. But I really felt like I had something this time, and I really felt like I could do more than I've ever done anywhere. But I knew it was about blinders. I knew it wasn't about multiple businesses. I knew it wasn't about having, you know, 4 or 5 businesses in a bag, which I used to do, and 5 business cards, and, you know, jack of all trades, master of no money, and I knew it had to change. So I put the blinders on.
Master of no money.
Put the blinders on, went to work, and you know, over time, it started to develop into something.
Man, you know, you hear this often about people who come into the insurance business. They know they're capable of achieving more, and they're looking for ways to improve their situation, just like you were. And the insurance business is a way for you to kind of control your own destiny, right? It's a great business only if you're going to be willing to put in the hard work. One thing we found on this Inspire podcast is there's 2 common threads I found, regardless of any one of our partners that we've talked to on this, this podcast, and it always comes down to humility, being humble, and being willing to serve others, and being able to work hard and outwork others. I love that idea of the blinders, right? There's so many different times, especially with entrepreneurs like you and I are, and people who have this entrepreneurial spirit, right? Is man, everything, like, you can convince me everything's a good opportunity, right? I get jacked up, I get excited about things, but the real truth is, man, if you keep those blinders on and stay focused, I mean, light can burn through metal when it's focused, right? And if you just focus on something, it may not be sexy, right? It may not be the most, exciting thing to talk about at cocktail parties is, hey, I sell insurance for a living. But man, whenever you focus and you keep those blinders on, you can really help a lot of people. And you can do incredibly well for your family. So what finally drove you to really take that leap of going, I'm just focusing on this and nothing else?
It was the fact that, I could control my own destiny. Like you said, I could literally control my own destiny by sales. When I figured out that selling life insurance could pay my bills at an elite level, that made recruiting become easy to me. Like, I recruited from day one. But the thing that empowered me, the thing that gave me, I always call it my superpower, was the ability to sell, because that made it so that whether the agents that were working with me or not, sold or not, I didn't, it didn't matter to them. It didn't affect my personal life. It didn't. So that allowed me to recruit more with more vigor. It's interesting how that worked for me. I recruited at an insane rate because I could sell, and because my confidence came from the amount of money I could make on my own. And that just dovetails back into some multi-level marketing stuff that I did in my 20s, where I had to recruit everybody to make money. There was no sales. So this was the inverse. I was able to sell, which activated my recruiting, because quite honestly, I wouldn't have recruited. I didn't want to recruit. I was tired of recruiting. But the fact that I could pay my bills just by running 30 appointments a week, and I realized I can put together a real elite lifestyle minus a team, empowered me to go build it. And that's when I started to really hire at a really toward pace, because it was the fact that I could sell that gave me that confidence.
What happens, right, is you start being successful in doing this, and you're like, man, if I can do this, anybody can do this. I need to tell my friends about it. And that's where you get that confidence. I love how you just said that confidence that you gained in doing that really allowed you to really help others kind of come into the business. And man, think about the lives you change by doing that. So after years of searching for this opportunity that you were looking at, you found this career path that was right for you and in the insurance business. Did success come immediately? How long did it take for you to really get that success that you envisioned for yourself?
I had intermittent success early, and it depends on whose radar you're judging success on.
Sure.
But I didn't have the success I wanted early. I had success. I had a team. I had people coming on. I had people selling. I was selling maybe, between 13 and 18,000 a month. Nothing otherworldly, nothing, life-changing yet. I had a lot of debt. My wife and I, we were in the production business. She was producing babies. I was producing a new business. And it was not easy to do. She was still teaching. She's going up to the last day before, the baby. She left school and the baby popped the next day. That's how much money we needed coming into our house. So it was definitely a time it was trying first, and then I had to realize there were certain skills that just could translate. Work ethic was never a problem for me. I just didn't fully get it yet in this business. And then when I fully got it, it was just like, wait a minute. All you have to do is buy a lot of leads and run a lot of appointments. That's it. That's it. Because everything else was going to happen. Recruiting was going to happen. Pouring into agents was going to happen. Training was going to happen. That stuff was already going to happen. But what I needed to do was solidify my basis because I couldn't operate without it. And that's, so it took me about a year or so to finally walk into this place of true confidence that I can go out and issue pay $30,000+ a month. And when I realized I could do 30, I realized I could do 50. And then when I realized I could do 50, I realized the sky was actually the limit. There was no ceiling. And then it became a business that became a lot simpler for me to see.
Man, that's a great point. Well, man, you built a tremendous business that continues to grow, man. You guys are crushing it. What excites you the most about what you're doing right now?
Man, a lot of things. I mean, first off, thank you so much for the platform and for the business model that you guys decided to create. This is everything, and it means everything. The very fact that you and your partners thought that it was a good idea to stop competing, which is playing itself out in an amazing way right now with all the partners that are coming on. And we're no longer competing. This is a harmonious proposition. And that makes everybody's job easier, number one. Number two, the resources allow you to not have to think, you don't have to be in a bubble. I was talking to a couple guys the other day, and I was talking about being a gun-shy entrepreneur. Like you've been beaten up a little bit. You've had success, but you know that on the other side of that success is you can fall down that mountain real fast. So there's many a times where I could have pulled, and early on I pulled the trigger like every day, as far as spending money and going out there and trying to build my business. But as I got further along with this thing, you definitely become gun shy on certain things. There's more things you can do. The ticket items are bigger. You wait a little, you delay, and you know what to do, but you're gun shy because you've had flesh wounds.
Yeah, you stop trusting your instincts, right? You're like, I know I need to go there, but I don't know if I want to. Right?
That's it, man. You know, so I could find myself being in an office that I knew we grew out of, but somewhere in my mind, I'm just kind of like, no, we'll ride it out here. It's fine. And then a year and a half later, you're like, dude, what am I doing here? Like, we outgrew this space a long time. It's time to move. And then, then you put the money up. But yeah, that stuff's been amazing, as well as the growth. I mean, this integrity effect is a real deal. People are seeing an opportunity for them to change their family's generation for their family's lives for generations, and they're moving with more intent. They have a more of a pep in their step, a longer stride, more focus, than I've ever seen before. And it's definitely helped the business and the growth. It's been exponential.
Man, that's so true. I think that we all see this, and there's a lot of examples that in the early days we would all take these crazy risks because we had nothing to lose, right? And as you start gaining stuff, right, and you start like actually being successful, you stop having that same courage of doing what you know you need to do. Because you don't want to lose anything, right? And back when you had nothing to lose, it's like whatever, right? But then you start gaining stuff, and you start second guessing yourself, and that's one of the things that I'm really passionate about here at Integrity is how do we regain that confidence, right? How do we go, let's put the resources, let's put the money, let's put the people, let's put the technology, let's put the resources behind those opportunities help accelerate growth. And that, as you just called it, the integrity effect, really is a true phenomenon that we've seen of being able to gain that confidence again. And listen, we all want to compete. We're all going to compete. Competitors want to compete. We're going to compete internally. We'll try to do it, but it's not zero sum anymore, right? It's not I win and you lose, right? It's, hey, we all will compete. Let's see how good we are. And it's like playing golf with your buddies. You have a lot of fun, and then you go hit the 19th hole and you have a beer and you enjoy kind of that time together, or any of those things. It's not like I am going to slaughter my competition. Hey, let's go out and try to grow the right way. Let's try to look at sharing ideas. In fact, the best competitors, like I love this about like college teams and stuff, where the best competitors say, hey, y'all come see what I'm doing, right? My buddy Dan McNerney, who McNerney Management Group joined us just a few weeks ago, we announced my buddy Dan McNerney in 2006. In 2006, I remember him inviting me in and saying, here's exactly how we go to market. Here's exactly what we do. And he gave me everything. Like, it's amazing. We were talking about this whenever we were doing our partnership. He gave me a presentation, showed me exactly how to recruit, gave me the scripts, gave us the whole model. And I remember saying, man, Dan, are you not worried about, like, giving up all your secrets? And it impacted me. It still impacts me to this day. Dan said, I don't mind, because you can have all of these secrets, but are you willing to do what it takes to make it all come to reality and actually do the hard work that it takes to make it all come together? And you know what's ironic? That we were talking with some of his team, Clint and Bobby and David and Joanne, and we're going through some of this stuff, and what they've done and the way that they've grown through that has been remarkable. And I tried it. I tried some of the things that they said in 2006 and 2007, and we just didn't have. I didn't have the courage. I didn't have maybe I didn't have the skills, frankly, to grow the model that they were growing, and so we ended up giving up. But it showed, like, great competitors are willing to invite you in, and you see this with, like, college football coaches and other people who will say, hey, come look at what we're doing. I'll show you how to do this, and they'll share. And then they'll say, now let's go compete and let's see who can win. And the best competitors go, I'll show you exactly what I'm doing, but let's bring it, right? And that's what Sean Mike is all about. That's what Barry Clarkson's about, is, hey, listen, this is what we're doing. Now let's go toe-to-toe and see who's the best, right? And that's what jacks me up about this opportunity is now we're not trying, we're looking at ways, how do we have that rising tide raise all boats mentality? And so, Marc, you're a big part of that, my friend, and the way that you've even shared your ideas and your concepts and what you guys have been doing, I love that, man. And so thank you for joining us. Thank you for being such a great partner, and thank you for being a good friend as well, my friend.
Thank you so much, Brian, for all you guys do. I appreciate you guys.
Marc, listen, you're just getting started, and like I said in the beginning, there is no telling where you and Robin and your group at Tri-State can go, and we are just honored to be supporting you and locking arms together as we continue to grow, and we're going to have a lot of fun. I know my friend Sean Mike would say we're all going to be able to do this together, and I love the fact that as soon this is kind of back to what you were talking about, Marc. Whenever you see, when you got in the insurance business, right, and you were like, oh my gosh, this is something I need to tell my friends about. And that's when, if you're like, man, if I can do this, I need to tell my other friends. That's what Sean did, right? Is he jumped on board, and it was like, I got to call Marc. Like I got to call Killamet. I got to call Andrew Taylor. I got to call all these other guys and tell them about this. And that's one of the more exciting things. Even as we build this partnership, it's a lot more fun to have fun together, to work together, compete together, than trying to be an island on your own, right?
100%.
So if there was anybody, and we're kind of wrapping up on time here, but if there was anybody listening to this call that has been kind of on the fence about joining Integrity, going, I don't know, man, my business, I'm growing it. I mean, you were a rocket ship to begin with. I'm growing my business. I'm just not sure what, and they're kind of on the fence. What would you tell them right now?
I tell them jump. Jump for a lot of reasons, but Integrity has brought to the table something I couldn't have gotten anywhere else. It's the best business decision I've ever made, by a landslide. And it's because of, it allows you to operate with a freer mind to do, if your mind is freer, you can do the things you know to do much better. And that is what I've seen. As I'm able to do the things that I know how to do in this business so much better because my mind is freer. You know, that's what I think. That's the Integrity effect to me. And when all these entrepreneurs that are coming on board, they're all good. They're all Hall of Famers, if you will. Everyone's got a yellow jacket, a bus, and Canton, but we're trading notes now. We're trading war stories, and I think that when you have the ability to talk and gain insight from other people that are excellent at their craft, I don't know how you don't get better. I mean, this is a virtuous cycle of winning. You know, the carriers win, the IMO wins, the clients, the agents, staff, family. I mean, the staff are even partners. So I don't know if there could be a better business model out there if you're in the insurance business. So thank you again for everything you guys do and this incredible business model. Thank you.
Man, Marc, thank you, buddy. I'm so grateful to be at the table with you. I'd go to battle with you any day, my friend. You're exactly the kind of leader and person that is going to take Integrity to the next level, and we can't wait to continue to grow and expand and continue to see where we can all go together. So thanks a lot, buddy. Appreciate you sharing your story. Appreciate you sharing your enthusiasm and helping us get off to such an inspiring start to the week. So thanks a lot, buddy. Really appreciate you being here.
Thanks again.
Hope everyone has a wonderful week. And again, thanks again for my buddy Marc Meade for joining us today and inspiring us all as we kick off this week, the first week of July. We're going to have a great kickoff start to the month and continue to grow and prosper together. So thanks a lot, everybody. I hope you all have a blessed day. God bless you all. Take care. Bye.